TPUSA 2023. It is day 3 on Monday. We've got Miss Paige Roux here with us today.
Hello.
Host of Reloaded, a show. Now, are you on the TPUSA network? Where can people find your show?
So right now I'm on Salem Now. I think they're putting it on TPUSA network.
Okay.
And I think I'm also on Real America's Voice. I should know this, but I know I'm definitely on Salem Now.
Okay, all right, fantastic. And Roux, you guys, is spelled R-O-U-X. Okay, we were talking earlier about how we're French and we're better than everyone else.
Little flour and butter is a roux.
All right, that's what it's. I can't help that being French makes me better than other people. Okay,
I like it.
No, I'm totally kidding. People think
Well, my middle
French
name is Cosette.
What does that mean?
Cosette is from the play Les Miserables. My mom's sitting over there. She named me after the main character, Cosette, in Les Miserables, which is a French play.
All right, well, this is good. So, thank you, French mom. Are you French Canadian or just French?
What am I? I'm
French Canadian.
Yeah.
I grew up in Vermont.
Okay.
Right next to Quebec.
Well, I'm born and raised in Phoenix, so I'm.
Shut up! You're a native.
Yeah, I know. There's not many of us.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
Okay, so let's talk about what you're really here for. We're talking about being French and all this stuff, but what we really want to talk about is guns. Okay, your show Reloaded is about guns. You're a big 2A advocate.
Yes, I am.
Okay, now what had you get passionate about the Second Amendment, your right to bear arms? Like, where does that come from for you?
Okay, so do you know a lot of people who are raised in like their family's restaurant? And they after school they go to their family's restaurant, they work that evening after school, they do the things,
dishes,
right? They
whatever.
Yeah. My family didn't have a restaurant, they had an indoor shooting range.
I love it.
So
I love this already. I love this already. I love where this story is going.
So I was raised at our shooting range since I was 5 years old, and I watched my dad teach classes and sell guns, and so it was just around. I would pass coupons out on the weekends at the gun shows, and I would make cash under the table as like an 8-year-old.
Ooh, okay.
But
don't tell me that. I'm an
know.
accountant.
I know.
Yeah, I like it.
Well, I was 8.
Okay, the statute of limitations must have
Piggy
passed.
banks money. Come on.
Must have passed. Okay, so you're at gun shows. You're helping the fam.
Yeah. So I mean, fast forward. That was my childhood. I actually went to school for wedding planning. I know. I wanted to be a wedding planner.
Is that a thing you go to school for?
Well, it's hospitality management, tourism, and then a certificate in wedding planning. So to get the like licensing and stuff.
Yeah.
This degree.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to be a pro at it, so I was going to school for it. But I wanted to do big, massive hotels, big weddings. So that's why I did the hospitality side.
Got it.
2020 hit. I was teaching classes because I knew how to shoot guns, and I was training women, and it kind of shifted literally overnight where shutdowns were happening, events weren't happening. My parents were like...
Weddings were canceled for like 2 years.
Yes. My parents were like, there are so many people buying guns. There was a huge influx of gun sales.
Yes.
You're the only female firearms instructor. We need you to teach more.
Okay.
So overnight, I became a full-time firearms instructor, and I never looked back.
Oh my gosh! First of all, I love this story. I love this story, especially because we have so many friends who were maybe not anti-gun, but we're not gun nuts like we are.
We don't hate them. We understand
we
the
don't
need,
need a gun.
But we don't need it.
I can beat someone up, whatever. And then 2020 hits, and they realize the tyranny of the government. Mm-hmm. They realize that there are people out here looting, rioting, burning stuff down, taking people's stuff, all this crazy stuff. And all these people that we knew that were previously anti-gun or, not gun nuts.
They're waking up.
Now they're now going out, they're buying guns, they're taking courses, they're loading up on ammo. And I think that that season really woke a lot of people up.
And it's sad that we had to go through all that to wake everyone up, but I'm very grateful for it. And I tell people this. You don't have to love guns. Just don't take mine away. It's a right to have one. And if you aren't sure, take a class, learn a little bit, because it's really important to know how to use one or the safety of one. That's it. I'm not telling you that you have to go buy one and keep it in your home and carry one on. I'm not telling you that.
But at least demystify.
Yes.
Demystify guns. Okay, so that's what, like you, I learned how to shoot when I was 6, right? My dad taught me how to shoot a little 22 pistol, and I grew up around guns. I grew up in a hunting culture, target shooting, and all of those things. And
it was an activity.
Exactly. It was like, it's a sport. I skeet shot. Skeet shooting. I did skeet shooting when I was in high school, things like that, because it was fun and it was interesting.
Exactly.
And it wasn't scary to me. Guns weren't scary.
But your parents educated you. So I'm talking a lot, and I'm on this, don't get me on a tangent, but I'm on this huge path right now of why Gen Z doesn't like guns, and it stems from Gen X and latchkey kids, and Gen X has turned into relying more on public school systems to educate their kids, and that was really the only education that their kids got.
Yes.
So now the firearm and the tradition of the home isn't happening. So now the only education that's coming up is TikTok and mainstream media of people who don't like guns. So all they're hearing and seeing is negative use of a firearm, and that's where it's kind of shifting.
Yeah, I think to me a gun is really just a tool. Yeah. Right? Like, it is akin to a hammer. It is I mean, obviously they're different.
Right.
But it is a tool for a job.
A chainsaw in your garage, that we don't have to lock those up. You don't need a license. You don't need you don't need any of that.
You don't need to like take them apart and put them in a locked case or a safe or why don't you know
I know I'm on to something.
Oh my God, Paige. You know what? Seriously, I've never heard anyone articulate it like that, but you're absolutely right. You know, we'll joke all the time that anything can be a weapon, but literally we have a chainsaw in our garage that we could do just as much damage with, if not worse. Yeah. And so, what is your goal for Reloaded? Like, is it to educate women? Do you have like a target audience? Who are you trying to reach?
It is. Okay, so naturally, target audience is everyone, definitely in that like 18 to 35 range.
Okay.
Because it's that reality TV show-esque, right?
Yeah.
It's very girly. So naturally, I'm going to appeal to more women.
Okay.
But I do have like my dad is the star of the show. He loves the camera. He loves being interviewed, and he's just a joke. He's awesome. I feel like it's his show, and I'm just like a second act in it.
Yeah.
He's awesome. He's the owner of the range, so his insight and his experience, we banter back and forth all the time, and that's like the really fun part of the show.
I love that.
My fiance's in there.
Fantastic.
So much fun. It's my whole family. So it's education through entertainment, because I didn't want to do this, I'm standing behind a table and I'm like, let me teach you how to.
You gotta like my stuff.
I don't want to listen to
that.
Yeah. So it's just like kind of, you're immersing yourself into my life, realizing that it's not this stigma of like, oh, you have to dress this way. Like, I'll carry a gun wearing this.
Yeah.
I want my red lipstick, and I also want my gun.
So it sounds like you're really trying to meet the culture, right? Like, you're trying to bring 2A into the current culture rather than trying to pull them into like our thing. It's like meeting people where they're at.
And I think it's fitting, because my mom can attest to this. I am a stubborn human being.
No.
So if you tell me to think a certain way or act or wear a certain thing, I will nod, smile, and do the exact opposite. So I've really leveraged that of like, what would I do? How would I feel if I'm telling someone this? And I'm like, oh, well, I would turn away and not listen. So I try to angle everything of like, I want it to be authentic. I want you to be happy with whatever you're doing, but kind of immerse yourself into the gun world your way.
Yeah, I love that. And that's what I think. There is oftentimes, especially for women, I think, we have a tendency to not. Okay, let me articulate this. Okay, I don't know about you. I grew up a tomboy. Did you grow up a tomboy?
I actually did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I learned how to fight and to wrestle and to do a lot of these things, but a lot of women don't.
Yeah.
Right? They don't learn how to defend themselves. They're actually just victims. Okay, they don't even learn how to have situational awareness when they're out places. But supposedly we live in a rape culture and everybody's trying to kill you and rape you and all this other stuff, and yet they also are more anti-gun. They're less likely to own weapons. They're less likely to get trained to do boxing or martial arts. And so I think that targeting women in general is so important, so that we aren't victims, so that we can level the playing field if we ever are in a situation where we're a victim.
And it's this idea of you're watching all these bad things happen on your phone, and you're like, well, that'll never happen in my neighborhood. Yeah, it will. And so that's kind of that. It's the lack of education and I call it la la land of like, that'll never happen to me.
Yes.
So that's the eye-opening thing that needs to kind of shift, is it will, and a lot of women do come to me, and it takes a major scary event for them to take that step.
Yeah.
Or it's like, oh, the last straw was this. I heard about this. There was this event. This woman was raped or killed.
Yeah.
And so now I need to do this. And I'm like, I wish it didn't take someone else's life or a dangerous situation to make you act on it.
But that's what even Anna, you know who Anna Kasparian is from the Young Turks?
No.
Okay, so she's a hyper leftist, very outspoken, like defund the police kind of a person. And then she was out walking her dog. She was bending over to, clean up after the dog. And a crazy homeless person went up to her and started thrusting himself into her backside, assaulted her. And that was like the beginning of we're watching her basically get red pilled on air. And it's fascinating, but you nailed it. It always is, I have to become the victim first. Something bad has to happen to me for me to like really get it, right?
Yeah.
And so, okay, so now share with everybody where they can find your show, where can they follow you on the socials, how do they learn more?
So, are you ready for this? Well,
Yes.
Reloaded is on Salem now. You can watch that. My Instagram, my website, I am Some Chick Who Shoots.
Some Chick Who Shoots.
And it's SOME, like I'm some chick who shoots.
Bang, bang.
That's my whole brand.
Okay.
So Instagram, website, all the things, Some Chick Who Shoots.
All right, I love it. Now, if you could have one last piece of advice for those watching, what would it be?
I think I've talked about this already, but it's kind of my walk away all the time.
Okay.
I don't care if you don't like them. I don't care if you don't want to own one. Just take a class and learn the safety, and that's it. And don't take mine.
Yep.
That's it.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. All right. Thank you so much, Paige.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. Again, we love the boom booms, so anything related to guns, we're going to have on anytime. All right. You'll have to come back. We'll have to interview you and
do a follow-up.
learn more. Yep, exactly.
All right.
I want to learn more. All right. Bye, guys.